Hello and welcome. I'm Jordan Hansen. I'm with Cobalt Intelligence and Beyond Banks, and I'm a software engineer, also someone who just likes to build AI stuff. Automation, that's what we're focused on at Cobalt Intelligence. We really focus on helping alternative finances, companies, lenders, funders, people that are trying to help the small businesses that have a tough time getting loans from banks. We try to help them with their underwriting, all that process. As part of that, we built automations. And that's really a huge part of what we do. We get Secretary of State data and we pull it in. The most important part is our software product. It's large. We have a large code base, and I want to build an AI assistant using OpenAI. And I wanted to build it to be able to help me as I debug, as I build. And so I want it to be an expert on my files. And so that's what I'm going to work on today. Now today is going to be a largely technical video. It's all just going to be me raw and building this code and trying to figure out best ways to do things and learn as I go. Some of it may be kind of boring, some of it may be interesting, but you're going to see the good and the bad as we go through it. So once again, Jordan Hansen, I hope this is going to be interesting for you. If not, I'm not offended. You can go to other videos. We have talked about this a little bit in a previous video. You can check it out here, and there'll be a link to that video. And that video just talks about kind of the setup, and that the idea was it's a short little 4-minute video that talks about, you know, doing this, but just the high level, right? And this is going to be actually the nitty-gritty details. And let's get into it. So our code, we have our code base here, and the idea behind this, again, is that we want it to be able to pull the files. And now my main idea was I had this assistant, this SOS search expert. I'm gonna make this a little bigger too. This SOS search expert, we give it some functions, and we give it a bunch of files and say, hey, review your files, give us help. Now, after doing this, I try to initially start this and just upload all the files manually, and then I would work on maintaining them later. But when I uploaded it, I found that you could only do 20 files at once. 20. That's limited for what I'm trying to do. So we have to figure out a way to be able to handle and update files as we have questions. So maybe I ask a question that says, hey, well, I think we're just trying to do this even without you using AI right now. Right now, we're just saying get state code. We're going to try this function, make sure we can get it, and then upload it to the AI. So we're taking what we're doing is getting it from our GitHub credentials. We're using OctoKit. And then we have our GitHub token that's coming back from our secrets manager in AWS. I'm going to close that. Can I go a little bigger for you? Probably not much bigger than that. And then we're gonna, let's see, so we have Cobalt Intelligence. We're gonna get as our repo, our own, okay, now we're gonna get the file, we create the file, and then what we need to do is upload that file to OpenAI. So over here in OpenAI, you can see over here, there's files. We get the files, and then we're gonna add it to the assistant. So that's what we do. We upload the file manually, it gets us a file, and then we add that file to the assistant with the file.id. All right, now if I run it, and hit start, let's see what happens. What do we have over here? Files. Oh, this is just some of the stuff. So I'm catching up on what I was working on before. I'm kind of bringing you in mid-code, middle of this session here. Okay, so this is something I was seeing before, and I don't quite get, and I have to debug. What's happening here is the file is invalid. Now, I know this file is not invalid, so I created, the cool thing is I did create the file, so I got it here, this Alabama index. I don't know what this is. I'm not doing that. Delete that thing. No, I don't want to delete that yet. This guy. Delete. Okay, so we have our Alabama index, right? We started with Alabama. That was the state we told it to go find. And it says it will not upload. Now, I think something's weird with this right here. I think this is not what we think it is somehow. Because if I go over here and I do it manually, if I go to files, upload, and now, I don't know where this is. There it is. Yeah, that's what I want. That's what search helper. And why JSON-L? I want this one. What? I'm confused. What's JSON-L? I know I can upload other files. Like, okay, well, what happens? That's when I go direct. What? Okay, so if I go over here, I can add the file here. No problem there. What? I'm so confused. This was working. I have a video showing it working. Assistants can now accept code files. This is a big deal. Like this. So you can see over here, I add this TS file here, and it's no longer throwing an error.
No longer throwing an error.
What? Okay, so what happens if I go, what if I rename this HTML or text or whatever, right? I don't care really. It doesn't have to be a TS file. Rename HTML. Yeah, sure, whatever, I don't care. Huh, okay, now I'm super confused. I had a video showing that this worked. Now, I won't put any documentation over in this other thing. I'm gonna see if I can find files in here somewhere. Okay, so if I go over here, I go to files. Do I specify here? That's only for fine tuning. I'm not trying to fine tune. Okay, so if I go over here and add, I'm just gonna change it to a text file. This is funny because it really worked just a little bit ago. Like last week when we tried this, the last video we had, Imported file. There we go. And tools. Beta. For text MIME type, okay. Look, code interpreter can handle TS. Good. And the retrieval should be able to handle any, like HTML, fine. Type code, I have it on. We had this in a previous, it won't accept any function now. I think we're done. This is frustrating. You'll just see how the frustration is here. So this is the video with me being mad because OpenAI is still buggy. I went over here. You can see in this previous video over here where we actually uploaded these files and now suddenly it won't happen. Now look, I do this all the time. I check the change logs. Like here, let's go like this and say OpenAI change log. I check this to say, okay, did anything change recently? No, there's nothing here. There's nothing mentioning files. Everything's too new. People don't know, or they're not sharing. I don't know. Like, there's no one having this problem? I don't understand. Doesn't work. Anyway, quick video here. I expected this to be a lot more work going into here, but as you can see, files are still buggy in OpenAI. The end. If this has been helpful, I don't know how it could be, but hit the like, subscribe. I'm Jordan, angry, signing off.